Hello and welcome to the StartupBREW Fargo podcast. StartupBREW is a weekly event hosted by Emerging Prairie in downtown Fargo, where we believe that entrepreneurship is energized over brews. Each week, we bring entrepreneurs, founders, and innovators together because we believe they succeed when they have access to each other and the community that supports them. This week, we were joined by Joe Tjosvold, founder of Chezy, and Maddie Schultz, founder of Blue Cypher Bookkeeping. Today, we will begin hearing from Joe, who first founded Advertise Edge, an award-winning video agency, in 2017. And in 2020, Joe added another video marketing company called Chezy. With Chezy, the mission is simple: to provide a video marketing solution that small organizations can afford, but with the quality that large organizations require. Let's listen in.
How's everybody doing? I'm Joe. I'm with Chezy. So over the past 10 years, video marketing has become increasingly important for small organizations to share their story and tell why they do what they do. And the statistics on video marketing are also quite astonishing. I won't dive deep into those statistics today. You can go on Google and just type in video marketing statistics to learn more about the benefits of video marketing. But there's one big problem when it comes to video marketing, and that's the price, right? A video produced in this town from a marketing agency, from a video production agency, can cost $5, $10, sometimes even up to $20,000 to produce one video. Until now, with Chezy. So with Chezy is a subscription-based video and photo marketing company. Our base plan gives you 24 videos over the course of 12 months. The monthly price is $497 per month, which equates to videos under $250 each. So essentially, you can get your brand storytelling video, your client testimonials, company culture, explainer videos, promotional videos, and much more. 24 videos over the course of a year, priced at the same price as one video with the other guys. I'm not saying that those other guys are evil by any means, because we also own Advertise Edge. Advertise Edge is an award-winning agency that does video in Fargo here as well, that does charge some of those prices of $10,000 for each video. But what I am saying is you no longer need to pay thousands of dollars for each video that you want to produce. So to tell you the story about Chezy, I'll take you back to August of 2020 when we brought our team at Advertise Edge together to come up with a different approach to creating videos. So the approach that we wanted to accomplish is, how can we make videos affordable for startups, nonprofits, micro-sized businesses to be able to afford a lot of video content for simply not a large budget? So that was the first step in the approach that we were developing. Secondly, it's the quality. How can we also create a video quality that large organizations can also utilize? So it's not a platform for only small businesses, but it's a platform for even some of the larger brands around the community to use as well. So the production team is here today. So if you look closely, really close, you'll see that we're not using cell phones to create these videos. So that was a comment from a couple of our first clients with Chezy, is $250 per video. You have to be using a cell phone to do this, right? We care a lot about the quality of our videos. So with what you see here, this is only a third of the equipment that we actually bring on set for our Chezy shoots, but it's the production equipment adding up to around $25,000 worth of production equipment, which would, it's one of the best in the state, besides a handful of companies maybe. So it sounds too good to be true, right? That we're able to do these high-end videos with awesome equipment for only $250 each, right? So how do we do this? How can we possibly do this and be a successful company? Because it just seems like we're just slashing prices for no reason, right? So the development and how we did this is we have streamlined multiple steps of the process from pre-production, production, and post-production. We have automated everything that we possibly can in those processes as well. And we've even done technological advancements within the post-production of creating these videos. So what does that mean? So with editing, in the past 3 months that we've been editing all these videos, we've already produced 242 videos that are finalized. To give you an idea of what that means, Advertise Edge, our parent company, produces about 40 to 50 videos per year. And in one quarter, we've produced almost 250. We have another 116 on our queue right now to be edited in the next 30 days. And where was I going with that? We make a lot of videos, I guess. And we're able to, using technology, diving into Adobe Premiere Pro and changing the software a little bit so we can produce videos a lot faster. But when we're doing this, when we were developing how we're going to do this, there's two things that cannot change, and that's communication with our clients on knowing exactly what they're looking for with videos. Everything is customized to their marketing needs. It's not a package where you need to have this type and this type and this type. You can get 24 training videos. You can get 24 client testimonials. It doesn't matter. It's completely customized to whatever your marketing needs are. So communication and then the quality of what we're doing. So where we're going, obviously we're an affordable video marketing agency. We're designed for small businesses and medium-sized businesses to utilize for video marketing, but we're also designed for marketing agencies that specifically don't have a video team on their team, but they want to, because obviously video works and it communicates extremely well with their marketing audience. So if there's a marketing agency that does not have that video team but want to have videos for their team, they can simply plug in Chezy and begin offering videos. And then lastly, our vision is to be a national company. It's a web-based subscription-style company. And how we're able to do that, and a big part of our process, is we're shooting all these videos on one day. So we're shooting videos, 24 videos in one day. And how can we scheduled everything to make it an efficient day. We have a client here. She wants to do a testimonial later for us. She can explain that day and how easy that day is because we've done videos for a long time. But lastly, I want to talk about our culture. And not only do we have a culture of giving amazing videos to our clients, but we also, it's part of our culture at both Advertise Edge and Chezy that we give back to our communities. So every single project that we work on with a nonprofit, we donate funds right back to them when we're completed with that project. And we're going to do something similar today. So after the show, come talk to me, learn more about Chezy, and if you want to take one of these postcards, what this will give you is you turn it in when you sign up for a Chezy subscription, and your yearly budget for your subscription, so minimum would be $6,000 for the entire year. We'll donate 25% of that to a charity of your choice. So we have 20 of these cards. If they all get turned in, we can't wait to donate $30,000 around the community. So lastly, to learn more about Chezy, just visit chezy.com, CHEZY.com. Do a free demo with us. Learn more. We'll dive deeper into the process so our clients know exactly the process that we take and what they're signing up for. But yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate your time.
Next up, we heard from Maddie, who founded Blue Cypher Bookkeeping at the end of 2019 as a completely virtual firm. Her focus is bringing accounting into the 21st century and taking traditional bookkeeping beyond just data entry. By leveraging technology, creating systems, and updating processes, Blue Cypher makes tracking finances easy, efficient, and understandable. She specializes in accounting for service-based business owners and nonprofit organizations. Let's listen in.
Good morning. My name is Maddie, and before I even talk about Blue Cypher, I just have to say the Entrepreneur Cohort Program, if you do know someone who would be a great fit for that, it was a great experience, and I even see a couple of my cohort members here, and it was just awesome, so definitely consider that. I started Blue Cypher Bookkeeping to, like she said, make bookkeeping easy, efficient, and understandable for small business owners and nonprofits. And we really do this by embracing technology and improving systems that really work with today's business, because most of the business owners that I know are out and about, they're running around, and so having someone that is taking care of the books behind the scenes and who's available to them, anytime, anywhere, that's really where I wanted to bring bookkeeping. And so with tax time, it doesn't have to suck. I know most people hate taxes, and it's not a fun time for a lot of people, but what we do is we also make tax time easier for your tax preparers, because we work with clients all year round to make sure that all the numbers are in order and in order by tax time, so that they can file things for you faster and they will love working with you too. So I am kind of an accidental entrepreneur, and if you had asked me to speak up here like years ago, I am very nervous, and I am not a public speaker, but I do love this community, and I love talking about the community and being up here. Growing up, I was actually adopted as a child, and I was raised here in Fargo, North Dakota, and I've always loved this community, and I stuck around because I like it. I did go across the river to MSUM for school, which I told everybody that I was going out of state because, it's really far. But after college, I thought I wanted to go into the corporate route. I worked in a few different roles, and there were a lot of aspects of what I did that I loved, but it never felt quite right. So in the role I had before I started Blue Cypher, I was actually a grants manager at a private foundation. And that's really where I kind of rediscovered my love of finance and kind of found that sweet spot of where I wanted to do more good, and I found that bookkeeping could be that medium for me. So as a grants manager, I worked with people that were looking for grants from the process, through the whole process from start to finish, and really helping them show the numbers and get the reports that they needed to for us to show the board that what they were doing is really great. And I was beginning to see a lot of how there were so many nonprofits that were doing great work, but it wasn't translating out on paper. So we had to ask a lot of questions and get more details so that we could really do their programs justice and say, hey, they're doing great things, but here's how much it's really costing them to do that. And so when I realized that I wasn't maybe a good fit for the 9-to-5 job, I saw that there was an opportunity to help not just nonprofits, but for-profit businesses as well. Because most small businesses can't afford or don't necessarily need a full-time in-house accountant. And with all the technology and systems we have today, accounting doesn't have to be boring, and it doesn't have to be paper-based or, full of receipts and boxes. There's better ways, and I love being able to help people get to that point where they don't have to worry about all the receipts in a box, because we take care of that, and we digitize them, and we make it easy. And so for one client that we just worked with recently, we have been able to see those long-term effects now, where they asked me about some random bill from 6 months ago, and they were like, hey, did we ever pay this bill? And I was like, yeah, we did, because I think they would follow up with us a lot quicker if we hadn't paid that bill for 6 months. But we were able to just quickly do a quick search, pull up the bill, here's all the information, and confirm that for them. And it was just that peace of mind knowing that the information is there when you need it, even if it is 6 months, 12 months down the road. And it's organized in a way that makes sense. And so when you do need reports, whether it's for fundraising or getting those funds in there, or just talking internally about how you're doing and where you're at, having those numbers is so important. So that's just a little bit about Blue Cypher. Like I said, I have grown up in this community, and I've loved watching how it has grown over the years, and now being on the business side of that, it's just really cool, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here.
After the presentations, we opened up our conversation to a live Q&A session with the audience, joined by our host, Emma McIntyre, who is also the lead coordinator of StartupBREW Fargo. Let's listen in.
I would love to kick us off with a question. You two fantastic people. What is something that you're most proud of in the last year?
My team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're equally as part of Chezy as I am, just developing all of these processes, and Tanner specifically when it comes to that post-production side of things and how we're able to edit these videos, not in a couple days, but in a couple hours. It is really him to create that software within Adobe Premiere Pro. That's pretty special. And then Luke's becoming the face of the company as the director. So proud of both of these guys, and adding a couple more as well as we go.
Heck yeah, let's give them a round of applause. I don't know if you can tell who they are. They're in the purple shirts. Maddie?
I don't want to sound like narcissistic, but I'm proud of myself for actually taking the leap, because if you are an entrepreneur, you know how hard it is to take that leap. And for me, leaving my full-time salaried, very stable position for something that I wasn't sure about in terms of like, can I make enough to survive? Taking that leap and even being up here, like I'm still shaking a little bit. That's just been a really big step in growth for me personally. And then the clients I work with too, it's been really cool to see how much some of them have grown, and just to be able to say like, hey, this nonprofit in Fargo is doing some amazing things, and just that being able to be there with them and cheer them on with their growth just in the last couple of years is really neat to see.
So it might seem kind of random that you guys are speaking on the same day, but I promise there's a method to the madness, because the two of you do what I perceive to be one of the hardest things, and it's convincing founders to hand over a portion of their work. Delegation. Can you explain what is one of the top things that you find founders run into when giving off work to external organizations or companies?
Yeah, I mean, when you are the owner, you do everything when you get started out, or you want to, because it's your baby and you're the one who grew it, and you know how you like things. But at some point when you want to scale and you want to grow, there's at some point that you can't do everything. And so figuring out what it is that you actually can delegate and what you are able to give up, just making that decision to give that up is so big.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like airplane music.
Yeah. Really the biggest part about it is thinking about, is your time worth that? If you are sitting on QuickBooks support for 2 hours, is that really a good time spent? Whereas someone like me, who I've been in the software so much that there's a lot of stuff that I can just fix like that. And if not, I'm the one who calls QuickBooks support for you, and I know the questions to ask them and who to talk to get what needs to be done. And so then you're not trying to drown in the day-to-day tasks and those boxes of receipts and stuff. You can actually focus on growing and running your business and really taking that vision of your business a lot further.
How would you translate that into the platform launch of Chezy?
Yeah, the 24 videos is a lot to think about, especially when we're doing them all on one shoot day, right? And then a lot of solopreneurs that don't specialize in marketing may not exactly know, like, how do I decide different videos that I can do, or what should I do with videos? So we give a bunch of examples of what other companies have done with these 24 videos to help them out, to start piecing together their strategy of what they're going to do with all this video content. So just helping them out. They don't need to fully design their plan. We can do a lot of that help for them. And then just communication. A big part is communicating with us about what they're looking for, so we can create the videos that they're envisioning.
Do we have any questions from our audience, our in-person audience? Danny.
Both of you guys very specifically mentioned in your presentation that you help people, like you exist to help other people in businesses. How do you balance
Danny asked the time-old question of how do you balance taking care of others while also taking care of yourself? Who wants to start?
Well, I believe the more you help other people, the more in return they'll help you, or they'll spread the word of your organization. So get your own work done in the evening or something, or on Saturday or Sunday, and just focus on helping others, especially when you're in an industry like ours, where that's what you're getting paid to do. That's what your focus needs to be on during the 9 to 5.
Maddie?
Yeah, I think, we want to help everyone. But I think for me, it was realizing, there are specific people that I can help better with my expertise and resources. And so being able to focus on that and unfortunately say no to some people, or say, hey, that's not my area, but I know someone who is really good in that area. I definitely wanted to help everyone when I first started, and I realized, I don't have the capacity to help everyone, but I can help a few people very well and slowly grow from there. And so I guess just helping people can be different things. It's helping people like business to business, or it's just, hey, this person has a cool business, go support them, whether or not they're a client. And just supporting that community growth is so important. And also remembering to take care of yourself, because you are a business. And I do have that conversation with people, like, you need to be paying yourself. And because when you aren't taking care of yourself and helping yourself too, it's way too easy to get burned out and lose that passion for why you started in the first place.
So we did get a question in from our virtual audience that I'll read off really quick. Randy Schatz asks, how did you find your mentors, and how do you connect with mentors?
Go for it.
I found mentors when I was in college. So just going to as much clubs and all of that when I was in college is really where I found my main mentors. Within Mark with PushSave, especially just teach me to be a more innovative entrepreneur. A large part of Chezy kind of comes from Mark in a way, where Advertise Edge, we don't do a whole lot different than a lot of our competitors, except we just do it better. But we're not truly doing anything different until Chezy came along. So.
Yeah, I've been blessed with a lot of mentors over my life, and kind of for different stages of my life too. I see one of them in the audience here. Jane Pettinger from MSUM actually was a great mentor to me, and she was one of those people that when I was kind of in the beginning stages of starting my business, I actually just sent her a random message. We hadn't talked in a couple of years, but I was like, hey, I could just really use some advice and some help, and she was there. And I think that's what great mentors do, is they're willing to just meet you for coffee. And Fargo in general, I feel like people are very approachable and very much they want to help people. So if you don't have a mentor, I definitely recommend meeting some people. It's just great to meet people, whether they're in your industry or not, because the support they will show you and even bring things to light that you didn't think about or didn't realize that you were going to be able to do. They'll support that. And I do remember one other mentor who, when I told her that, hey, I'm going to be starting this business, she wasn't even surprised. She was like, I know you, and this is exactly up your alley, and go for it. And it was just a great encouragement. So mentors are very important to me.
Oh, straight from the Pro Resources team. Yes, ma'am. She asked them to talk about, how did you come up with the names for each of your businesses?
Sure. Well, blue is my favorite color, and it's most of my wardrobe already, so that was very easy for branding. Cypher really comes from, it's like a cryptic message or deciphering something, and that's kind of how I see numbers. If you organize them right and in a good way, they really tell you a story, and I think it's a lot of fun to dig into those numbers and find that story.
My last name is very Norwegian. It's spelled Tjosvold, but it's pronounced Tjosvold. So my last name is very unique. A lot of people ask questions about it. I really didn't know what to call what we're doing, so I just called it Chezy. It's catchy enough to where maybe the next app wants to be called Chezy and they want to buy the name. It's an investment.
Always have an exit strategy. I did see another hand in the audience. Jordan.
Yeah, two-parter for Joe. So I love the one-day shoot concept, and that's kind of what enables this whole production value. But how do you make sure your clients are prepared? I mean, that's a lot of script writing, talent, I would assume, and kind of project management to make sure they're ready for that day. And then second part is, how do you make sure those videos stay relevant for the deployment timeline?
All right, getting into the details. So I'll first answer the how those videos stay relevant, right? So let's say we're working with a nonprofit, for example, and we're planning out their entire next 12 months for their video marketing strategy. So they need to plan for their gala coming up. They need to plan for maybe their 5K run, another fundraiser. And then they need to plan for Giving Hearts Day. So within our pre-production, we talk through the plan of what videos we're doing, and then also the delivery order that they want. So they're not getting their Giving Hearts Day video in March. They're getting it in January. So it's ready to be used at the right time for their marketing. So all of that is communicated. And then the first question that you had was about the one day. How do we project management that? Yeah. So we use software to not only reach out to our clients' clients. The hardest video that we schedule are client testimonials, right? We're inviting outside members of that company to come in to sit down and do an interview for our clients. We can take that off the plate for our clients as well. We use software. What we require from our clients is they give us a list of contacts. We're going to contact them and schedule them all in place. The project management for that one day is on us to make sure it's organized in the most efficient way possible. So unless our clients really, really want to, and maybe they don't want us to contact their clients, or maybe they'll have better luck if they do it or whatever. In that case, we give them all of the resources that they need to be successful at scheduling those individuals. So.
We have one final question. Yes, ma'am.
Both of you and all of us here use technology a lot. Both of you reference particular programs that you use that you know more about than most people. And I think all of us underutilize most technology that we use, with the possible exception of the two of you. How do you recommend that the rest of us dig into intelligently the technology that we're using every day anyway? Because we're all underutilizing it. What advice would you give to us in that regard, other than just call you instead?
Heck yeah.
I mean, for one thing that I see a lot of is people jump into accounting software that they're maybe not familiar with. And I think finding maybe 2 or 3, and I say 2 or 3 because honestly, if you go on Google, there's so many different things that you can find, and you can kind of get lost in that black hole of options and different pros and cons and everyone's view of things. But if you find 2 or 3 that you can then kind of do a deep dive on and see, is this going to fit your needs? Is this going to work with how you want things to work? But doing some research on just a couple things. And if there are things that are frustrating in your daily life and you think, there has got to be a better way to do this, try Googling it, because honestly, there's a lot of things out there, and even just talk to people around you too, because I'm happy to nerd out about software and systems all day long and all that kind of project management stuff. So talk to people and do a little research, but try not to get too overwhelmed with all of the options out there.
Yep. When it comes to videos, not every single video needs to be professional quality. So, I mean, even doing something simple in iMovie and just cutting it up and putting it together just for something simple that you want to send to a client. Maybe you just had a pitch, a sales pitch that you were in a meeting for, and you just wanted to personalize a thank you by just recording it on your web or your computer camera and just put it together for them so it's a personalized thank you. I mean, that all can be done in iMovie or Final Cut Pro. It doesn't need to be the complex editing platforms that professionals use. Tanner, what's the Adobe one that's more so for simple? Adobe Rush? That's for beginners? Yeah. So, and then YouTube tutorials, everything, you know. It's more important than some college courses, right, Jane?
Awesome. Well, our final question for the day. We have 70 of your closest friends right here in the audience. It was just so kind for them to come out this morning. What is one thing that each of us can do to help energize the work that you guys are doing?
I mean, you see someone who is hating their life because they're stuck on some QuickBooks problem or they hate tax time, you know, send them my way. But really the big thing I would say is just keep showing up to events like this. Like, it's really encouraging to see that, to see everyone that's supporting entrepreneurs like this and sharing microphones. Thank you. But yeah. The support in this community is amazing, so take advantage of that and continue to show up and support people like us.
Yeah. What would help us is just, word of mouth, just getting out there. Like I said, not only with today's promotion with the postcards, but all nonprofits, we give a 20% donation right back to them. So it's a big target for us, is helping out nonprofits in our community share their stories. So just word of mouth, especially those nonprofits.
Give these two fantastic people a wonderful round of applause.
That's all we have for this week's StartupBREW Fargo. Thanks for listening in. StartupBREW Fargo is energized by Emerging Prairie, an organization dedicated to connecting and celebrating the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We'd also like to thank the following sponsors for their support: Pro Resources, Brady Mertz, the FMCVB, Office Sign Company, Fargo Parks, and Midco. See you next time.